Michael Malone could be an interesting option for the Sixers if they decide to move on from Nick Nurse. Sixers fans, let's nip this in the bud right now. Every time a coach gets fired, we don't have to say he should be the Sixers head coach. We don't have to say it right away every time a coach gets fired. We don't have to say that. For two reasons. First of all, if you're going to say, well, Michael Malone won a championship, and Michael Malone put together a championship system and philosophy, and everybody bought in, and they won a championship. Yeah? So did Nick Nurse in Toronto. And we hired him for those reasons. And did it work out? No. I see a guy like Michael Malone having the same exact issues with the 76ers that Doc Rivers and Nick Nurse have had. Which is, I'm a championship winning coach. I have experience. I've been there. I got it done, right? So give me veterans. Give me all the guys that can get it done in the playoffs. Give me the playoff tested veterans. Give me Reggie Jackson and Eric Gordon. And it doesn't work. And then they don't look to the youth at all because I'm a championship winning coach and I have experience and I know how to get it done and I need experienced players. So number one, all of the reasons you guys think the Sixers should hire Michael Malone are all of the reasons we hired Doc Rivers, are all of the reasons we hired Nick Nurse. That's number one. Number two, the Philadelphia 76ers have issues that a coach cannot fix. I don't like Nick Nurse at all. I don't think Nick Nurse is the kind of coach that should be leading the 76ers right now. If the 76ers had a championship-ready roster like the 2019 Toronto Raptors, Nick Nurse could lead them to a championship. Michael Malone could lead them to a championship. I don't think Nick Nurse should be the coach in charge of the 76ers right now, but it's because they're not a championship roster. They're not a championship contender, and they're not going to be one for the next 5 years at least. The 76ers have issues that a coach cannot fix. What's Michael Malone going to do? Fix Joel Embiid's knee with his bare hands? How's he going to do that? How is hiring Michael Malone going to fix the issues with the 76ers? The issues are they have two players on max contracts who are past their prime, can't stop getting injured, and are signed until 2029. Don't have any cap space, can't trade the contracts. How's a coach going to fix that? Yeah, sure, replace Nick Nurse. I'm not a big Nick Nurse fan, but replacing him is not fixing the issues. I want him replaced, but it's for the same reason I want Daryl Morey out of here. I want Elton Brand out of here. I want Josh Harris to sell the team because I want the whole thing to be a clean slate and start over because I'm tired of seeing the same thing. But I don't want Nick Nurse replaced because I think a new coach is going to fix their issues because their issues have nothing to do with actual basketball on the floor. That's how I feel about that. Also this, to help me prove my point even more. Calvin Booth was reportedly dismayed that Michael Malone continued to play Russell Westbrook over Jalen Pickett. Booth wanted Malone to use younger players that he drafted and wanted Malone to stay away from using veterans for so many minutes. Who does that sound like? This guy is literally Nick Nurse. Jalen Pickett is a good example of this, according to league sources. Booth was dismayed that Malone went with Russell Westbrook over Pickett down the stretch of multiple games last week, and multiple games that, Westbrook ended up with the ball in his hands at the end of a game. I mean, they were up by 1. He blows a wide open layup and then fouls on a 3 with under 10 seconds to go in the game. So, yeah, it's the same thing. He would come here and he would do the same thing. But he's not going to come here anyway because everybody knows now that the Sixers are in the middle of, they're going to need to be in the middle of a rebuild. So no coach is going to come here and say, oh, I'm going to go coach there because I got Joel Embiid and Paul George and I got a champ. That's what Nick Nurse thought, but it didn't happen, and now he knows that's not the case, which is why I think if Nurse doesn't get fired, he's going to step down anyway. But somebody like Budenholzer or Michael Malone, they wouldn't come to the Sixers anyway because the jig is up. You know what I mean? Everybody knows now. Nobody's excited to come to Philly thinking Joel Embiid is going to be healthy and it's a championship level roster. Everybody knows the Sixers are headed towards a rebuild. So no coach is going to jump, no championship experience coach or whatever is going to jump on the opportunity anyway. But still, it's just funny to me that the GM Calvin Booth describing Michael Malone sounds a lot like Nick Nurse. Booth wanted Malone to use younger players that he drafted and wanted Malone to stray away from using veterans for so many minutes. That's insane. That is Nick Nurse and Doc Rivers to a T. And yeah, so no, hiring Michael Malone would just be doing the same thing we've now done every couple of years. So my answer is, I would rather, the Sixers, obviously, I would love for them to be able to get rid of some of these contracts somehow, some way. I don't even think it's possible. But I would love for them to, a newer, younger coach that's not going to have this I've won a championship, I'm the smartest guy in the room, I know everything type of mentality. And be obsessed with playing veteran players. I cannot get over the Russell Westbrook thing. It has been years now. When are teams going to stop trying to force Russell Westbrook into the rotation? He can't shoot, and he lost a step athletically. His whole game was athleticism, and it was amazing for a 10-year run. But once the athleticism slows down, he doesn't have a shot. What value is he bringing to your team? He can't space the floor. That's a major issue in today's NBA. And these coaches and GMs and everybody they keep signing Russell Westbrook. Yeah, but he does this and he did this and he did that. Bro, he stinks, man. It is what it is. The Sixers will probably be the next one to end up with Russell Westbrook for some reason. He's the exact type of player the 76ers would overpay. He's the exact type. Once he started blowing 70% of his layups, it was over. Dude, he has the most missed layups in NBA history. Did you guys know that? But yeah, I'm out on Michael Malone, man. I'm not interested, bro. I'm not interested. I just don't think it would. I don't think it would fix anything. I heard some medical grade. Maybe he can rub that in and heal Joel. Doug Collins was a great coach. They should hire Taylor Jenkins, seeing the Grizzlies develop, but they also have to fire Morey like Denver did with their GM as well. That's the thing too, man. You know, the Denver Nuggets see a little bit of a decline, right? They trend towards darkness for like 3 months, and they clean house right away. Why? Because they know Nikola Jokic is in his prime right now. Nikola Jokic has maybe 3 or 4 years left of MVP level play. Don't waste time. If it ain't working and it doesn't look like it's going to work out in the long run, cut the cord. Get ahead of it early, right? This is what the Sixers don't do. When the Sixers have issues with a coach or to the fan base, it looks like this ain't gonna work. They sit around for 3 more years. You know what I mean? They sit around for 3 more years and waste Embiid's entire career. They did it how many times? Pretty wild right now that a couple of GMs have been fired, a couple of coaches have been fired, and the team who had championship aspirations to start the season and ended up being so bad that they're tanking for a draft pick, their GM and their coach are still employed. And it's kind of making me nervous because it's kind of making me feel like everybody in Philly is about to get off the hook. And they're going to blame the whole thing on injuries.